Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty. Well, unfortunately, the beautiful, kind soul that you see in front of you is no longer with us. And this tragedy could have been avoided had precautions had been taken. But before I go on any farther, I want you to take a listen to this.
But first, an arrest is made in the murder of an elementary school teacher, Wendy Dwan. She was shot and killed at her Sugar Land home. Investigators say she met the suspected gunman on a dating app. They reportedly knew each other for only a week before Sunday's shooting. Investigators say Dwan got into an argument with Jarvis Thompson. She was shot several times in her backyard.
Right now, Thompson is awaiting extradition back to Texas. The fugitive task force found him in Shreveport, Louisiana yesterday. Brittany Ford has more on the arrest and joins us now. Brittany.
Well, investigators say that Thompson was in Louisiana for about 2 days at an unidentified home before he was arrested. Today, authorities gave us new details into how the two met and what led up to the murder. 26-year-old Jarvis Thompson has been charged with capital murder for the death of 28-year-old Wendy Dwan. Police say the two had met on an online dating app called Meet Me.
The information that we received was they met online on an app, and they knew each other exactly about a week. I think they met a couple days prior to New Year's Eve. But the first time they'd actually physically seen each other was New Year's Eve.
Investigators were called to Dwan's home in the New Territory subdivision in Sugar Land Saturday night after neighbors heard gunshots. When officers arrived, they found Dwan shot to death in the backyard. Police believe a fight between the two led to shots fired. Thompson had been on the run for the last week before being located and arrested in Shreveport, Louisiana.
It was a brutal murder, sadly for her and her family and her friends. So we're able to do our part, little part in what we can do to try to bring him to justice.
Dwan was a beloved Alief ISD teacher who had taught third grade at Boone Elementary for several years. The district's Twitter account is filled with photos showing her love for teaching and her students. In light of the tragedy,
there's got to be a general awareness.
Authorities are sending this message to anyone planning to meet someone online.
Communicating with your parents, your family, your friends. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is who I'm going out with. This is where we're meeting. Are we meeting in a very public place? Are there other people around? Things of that nature.
Now, Thompson is currently being transported to the Fort Bend County Jail. However, authorities tell me that could take up to a month. His bond remains set at $500,000. Reporting in Sugar Land, Brittany Ford, KHOU 11 News.
We'll be closely following the return of the suspect, Brittany Ford, tonight.
So you heard the story. A 28-year-old elementary school teacher from Sugar Land, Texas, a very beloved teacher. She had won Teacher of the Year award, and unfortunately she felt the need to go on a dating app to meet someone. Houston area teacher met man on dating app 1 week before he allegedly killed her. Now, this story here is so tragic, and I feel very bad for her students. And thank God that I did not have to go through something where a teacher of mine, which I had some very good teachers in my younger days, school days, school years, elementary school. And these students sometimes look at a teacher as being like a second mother. She's extremely important to them at that particular age. And I'm sure that, as they say, she was a very kind soul, very loving teacher, caring about her students. Such a tragedy all around. Students, for her family, friends. But I want you to follow me here. Thompson was arrested in connection to the murder, which took place in the 100 block of Oxford Mills Lane in Sugar Land, Texas on Wednesday. In Louisiana, over 260 miles from the deadly shooting. So basically, this story happened 3 weeks ago. And it was at the beginning of the new year, where basically it's almost like she was bringing in the new year with him before he allegedly shot her. Now, I want to say something in regards to this right here. Look at him. Doesn't he look kind of shady? I mean, don't you get kind of a bad vibe with him? And the mother, when she showed her mother a picture of him, the mother didn't like what he looked like right away. I wanted you to hear what the mother had to say about him. Here's what the mother said. She showed me the picture. I don't know his name. She said, "Do you like him?" I said, "No." Dewana's distraught mother recalled. So a lot of times people, parents, family, friends, can pick up things about someone. They can get a feeling. They can feel energy. And we need to basically believe what they're saying and take warning to that. Now, some may say because she's of Chinese Vietnamese descent, maybe it's because he was black that her mother didn't like him. Now, that could be the case, but I don't think it is. The reason being is because why would she show her mother a picture of him in the first place, knowing that my family is prejudiced in some type of a way? I think she would have kept it hidden a little while longer. She probably was not brought up that particular way. So I believe that her mother got a feeling, a gut feeling about him based upon his energy. Now, here's a beloved teacher right here. And according to what they were saying about her Instagram post, is that she had no shortages of people inquiring about dating her. They were wondering about her relationship status. And by looking at her, I don't think she would have had a problem meeting men at all. I think a lot of times with women, it's the allure of a dating app. It could be they are attracted to these bad boys. You know, people have different reasons as to why they go on dating apps. Maybe she did not have enough time. I do know that teachers can be busy. But I do think that it would have been a lot safer for her to connect with people through family, through friends. She was a volunteer worker. Does she go to church or anything like that? I would truly advise women to come off these dating apps. I just think that people can create a persona. Obviously, people lie about who they really are. They lie about their intentions. I think a lot of times people who are good souls like her, who want to see the good in people, I think there's just a lot of things that they can overlook. And unfortunately find out way too late. See, I truly believe that what happened here, after meeting him a week ago, and she invites him to the week prior before she invited him over to her place, they got into some type of an argument. And I truly believe that what that argument was about was that he may have asked, can he stay the night? Or can he basically see her again? And obviously she said, it's not a good idea. And from there, him being rejected, it just escalated. And I think that he's a type of a male, a beta male, who just did not handle rejection very well. And it's fortunately led to her ultimate demise. So with these types of people, it is never a good idea to invite someone over into your place a week later after you met them. You don't want to do that. You always want to meet them out in the open. Quite possibly you want to take a friend with you on the first date with them. A man who understands a woman being cautious in this particular world is not going to mind that. I do not believe that he's going to be offended by you having someone with you. So I think that when using these apps, you got to take all precautions. You got to keep your antennas up. But again, I would encourage women to just come off these apps. I think that you should meet people, or would be better off, safer, meeting people organically through friends, through work, have someone trying to set you up, the old-fashioned way, because these apps to me are nothing but a death trap. I think they're attracting too many of the wrong people. I just believe that just negative people with negative intentions are going on there. And I do not believe that they're a place for people with a kind heart, a good soul, to go in there to try to look for something sustainable. So when you go on these apps, you are taking a great risk. You have to ask yourself, is this risk really worth it? I mean, her being a teacher, her students are going to suffer. Obviously, her family is going to suffer. Look at all the trauma that you can possibly cause by being reckless and careless. And I do believe that not just her, anyone who uses these apps, that's pretty much the danger that comes with them. You just do not know who you are meeting up with. You do not know what you're getting. Anyone can pretend to be anything on these apps. And from what we have been seeing, particularly within the past 5 years, they're not really worth it. I just think that you're asking for a lot of trouble when you go on these apps. And you have to realize and tell yourself that maybe it's better to wait. It's better to take a longer route in meeting someone than it's quick satisfaction. And I think that we got to get out of the notion that relationship is the most important thing that we need to be into. That somebody's going to solve this, fix that, make us very happy, make us content. No, we have to do all that from within. We have to first feel that way within ourselves instead of looking at someone to fulfill us. I think that when we go out there being all desperate for people, we're doing nothing but asking for trouble. Because what we're going to do is that we're going to overlook a lot of red flags. And like she did, yes, show the person a picture to your loved ones, to friends, and listen to when they tell you things. Listen to what they have to say about someone. Because they may have a stronger feeling than what you do because they're not as invested as you are. So with these dating apps out there, I would say come off of them. If you do choose to stay with them, just be very careful. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you all beyond and through.